And good morning. It's 7:03 on this Friday, November 22nd. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello everybody. A rainy Friday morning. It's kind of pouring out there, but we're gonna carry on anyway and get started here for Wilson Bank and Trust as we do each Friday morning. John McDermott, who is president, is with us this morning. John, good morning to you.
Morning, Coleman.
Nice to see you again. Hope things are going well.
Same here. All good.
Yeah. Bank has had a history of growing. I guess it is still growing. A few changes about to be made, but you're pretty much ready to take over, aren't you?
I think that hopefully that transition's been laid out. It's just, Randall's been great and the others, and I think, he's not going to stay home, right? He's always going to be busy, and he's got, between his love for Granville and the Wilson County Fair and Cumberland University and the many of his churches, many other things he's involved in, I think he's ready, and he's been amazing to work with, and we've kind of laid it out. So people say what kind of change, and we hope really that if it's right, won't be a lot of change. So that's good.
One of the things I've wondered about is how much more you can grow, because you're into every adjoining county, I think, and even to Cookeville. And I know that's part of what you think about, how much more growth we're going to have. How much do we?
Exactly right. And I mean, I think that you've watched kind of our formula over the years. It's really one at a time, where some people will go through acquisitions of some sort, or all of ours has been organic growth. And really, we love that philosophy of that Truett Cathy and Chick-fil-A says, if you keep getting better, the customers will demand that you get bigger. And so instead of focusing on the growth, it's focusing on how can we take care of each individual that comes in our office and make sure they're getting what their needs are and fulfilled and happy with that relationship. And
well, I think we are here almost to December. We're almost at least almost to Thanksgiving, and it has been another good year.
It has. It has. And just in general, when I think about this time of year, in the past, I remember earlier in my career, it seemed like about this time of year, things really slowed down for you as far as lending and just requests, meetings with customers. It would be focused on their growth or what's happening for the next year. And that's changed a lot over the last probably 5 to 10 years, where we're meeting every day with somebody who has an idea, something they're working on, a loan that they're potentially considering. And so it is a great time to continue to do that. Rates have gone back down, which is not where we really expected at the beginning of the year, but very accommodating for the borrower. And so whether it be a home loan, whether it be a commercial loan, growing your business, investing through additional capital that you need help with, that's us.
If you are borrowing money, it's a good time.
That's right, yeah.
If you have money on deposit, it's not the best of times.
Well, when we opened Cool Springs just a year ago, we were offering some specials. We had, some 3% CDs out there. And, 12 months later, people they would be lined up to the square, to get 3% money. So,
well, kind of the way it goes. But you've always been very involved in the community, especially here, and I'm not as familiar with how you operate in the other counties and other locations, but I feel like it's the same formula. You're really into the community.
We are, and when we go into new areas, our goal truly is to go in there and find out what the needs are and how we can plug in and hopefully make that community better, because the bank is there, but more importantly, because our people are there and they're working through the passion that they have, or things that the bank has been invested as far as nonprofits and otherwise through the years. And that's work, Coleman. I think if you go in and to give, a lot of times what you get is a return back that you're, just because people want to do business with people they like. And
when you were growing up here in Lebanon, Tennessee, did you ever dream of heading up the biggest bank around?
I really, I was thinking about that this morning driving in, actually, is just, to think about that I have been able to come home and do some, be able to work and be around people and relationships that you've had. There's hardly a week goes by that people don't mention something about my dad. He helped me build my first house or whatever. So being in that industry has been really neat, but it's very humbling and gratifying at the same time. And, but knowing that, ultimately I think that, that God's provided a platform for me to make a difference and glorify Him. And if I work to do those things and we continue to try to hire people with a great heart and do the right thing, then the company will continue to grow.
Yeah. Well, of course, next Thursday's Thanksgiving. Bank will be closed, but just the one day.
That's right.
And that's the way I guess it's been for almost, you'd say, forever.
That's right.
And anything else you want to say in our final minute here this
Just
morning?
quickly, some things that are going on in some of our markets. So we're doing a shop small. Another thing that you're seeing, of course, nationwide really is just that entrepreneurial spirit. And so we want to make sure that whether they're our customers or not, that we're trying to help small business. And so there's Shop Small is November the 30th, and in both Lebanon and Gallatin, Mount Juliet, also in Murfreesboro, we're doing some $5 bucks to go towards that. So all they have to do is drop by one of our offices and then go to one of participating retailers and then give them those $5. And then what we do, come back a week later or whatever, is visit the retailers, and I think it's $2,500 we've designated in each of those markets to go to the small businesses. So we hope not only are they going in there to spend that $5, but they're also spending more of their money. So
yeah, okay, all right. So John, thanks so much, John McDermott, president of Wilson Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender, Middle Tennessee's community bank with excellence in banking since 1987. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Coleman.
Okay, 10 minutes after the hour, I have invited Karen Moore to come and spend a few minutes with us this morning. If you're not familiar with the name Karen Moore, let me tell you that she's the director of 911 here in Wilson County. Karen, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, Coleman.
Little rain out there.
It is. Hopefully everybody's slowing down this morning. We're not getting bombarded with 25 calls on one accident on the interstate.
How long have you been at 911?
28 years.
28, and you started as one who answered the phone, I guess.
I sure did. Yep.
What do you call those?
It's been call takers. Now we refer to them as telecommunicators. I call them my first responder heroes because the call starts with my people.
Well, no doubt the fact that you started kind of on the ground level and worked your way up to be director, the experience that you gained there, there's probably no way to, you couldn't buy that. And having been there and done that, I would think it helps you deal with any problems or know how better to address certain situations.
It has, and then as I became the director, you can go into a position thinking that you know it all and everything, but the last 3.5 years, I've gotten involved in the Tennessee Emergency Number Association as well as on the national side, and I'm on several different committees and stuff, and so that has changed a lot of my opinions and growth in my knowledge base because, we have 100 emergency communications district in our state here, but I've noticed we all do things differently, but the main goal is to make sure we get help to our citizens as well as protect our responders. Well,
since the word growth has been mentioned here, and there's hardly a day, especially a week goes by, that word isn't mentioned here on this program, but what has the growth that we've experienced here in Wilson County, what's it meant to you, or maybe problems that it's caused, or talk about the growth issue?
Well, when we go back to the day I started in 1991 at Wilson County 911, if we received 25 calls a day, that was a lot of calls, but now we're at 125, sometimes up to 150, 175 calls a day. This past year,
well, off those, are they nearly all genuine emergencies that they should be calling 911 for? No,
they are not. And cell phones bring in a big issue with that. I actually had some numbers that I had jotted down because, 84% of our calls this past year, from October of 2018 to October 2019, 84% were cell phone calls.
Oh.
And a lot of those are people put them in their pockets, people hitting these SOS buttons and stuff like that. But yes,
and inadvertent things, not intentionally, but you have to deal with them anyway.
That's correct. And a lot of open lines, which takes a lot longer time to process to make sure there isn't something going on in the background.
Well, You have to deal with the new addresses
Yes.
too, right? Any new house or business or whatever it takes an address. You've got to have that, I think.
Yes, and we took over the addressing for both the city of Lebanon, city of Mount Juliet, and the county, and I think we were already doing the city of Watertown for several years. So actually, from October to October, we did 2,482 new addresses in 1 year, and that actually involves then putting on a GIS mapping so that our responders can have them. And then with these new developments and subdivisions coming in, we also put the new streets on.
Well, do you have somebody that pretty much is in charge of that?
Yeah, we have it. And excuse me, and that's what I was doing before I became the director.
Yeah. But that's, you said around 2,500?
That's correct.
New addresses in a year's time.
Yeah, and we get no funding for that. When we took it over, of course, it was nowhere near what it is today. And but it's the thing about it, we need those on there because we've had a lot of construction accidents and stuff, and so at least we'll go out and actually drive a new street so that it can be put on a map. So.
Okay, well, you're staying on top of it, and you're doing it as fast as possible, I guess. So that's the way it ought to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Karen Moore's here, Director of 911. We're going to take a break, and this is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:16. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank Absolute Kubota and Rental. They have a large inventory of new and used Kubota mowers, RTVs, tractors, hay equipment, and more. Come in Saturday. Free popcorn. Check out the new Kubota products. 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. I'm still looking live at this crash here up against a wall in Rutherford County. It's 24 westbound here at 231. That's Church Street in Murfreesboro area. Again, that's slowing down traffic. Harding Place at Ezell Pike. That's one of the latest accidents out here. 12th and Broadway, right in the intersection. 65 really starting to pick up now as you make your way northbound. Trying to get up through Williamson County from Franklin into Brentwood. Give yourself extra time out here with this rain. Hey, get the lowest prices on most of your airline tickets. SmartFare save you 70% off. Call 1-800-915-2644. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Fresh off of this play, that big win over the Chiefs and a bye week to heal up, the Titans are back at it this Sunday against Jacksonville. Titans countdown happens at 2 o'clock. Then voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, and Coach Dave McGinnis call Titans and Jaguars with a 3:05 kick.
Brought to you by Absolute Kubota Exmark, Bates Ford, Fakes and Hooker, Steamwell Plumbing, and the Jewelers.
This is Wilson County's home for real country music and the Tennessee Titans. Real Country 98.9.
This Saturday, Lebanon's West Side will be rocking to the tune of sleigh bells.
Beauty Boutique and the Jewelers are having a party, and you're invited.
Shop BB for all the beauty and fashion trends of the season.
I know my wife loves to have BB style. The Jewelers has deals to make your special someone sparkle like a Rockefeller Plaza Christmas tree.
And my jeweler always rocks. Beauty Boutique is in the Signature Plaza and will be celebrating from 10 to 2.
The Jewelers is located at 1501 West Main, and we will be open from 9 to 4. One-day deals at both locations.
Right now is a great time to step up to Exmark, the Mowers Landscape Pros trust 2-to-1 over the next best-selling brand for as little as $2,699. Step up to the new Radius, the next great zero-radius turn mower from Exmark, or go all the way up to the Exmark Laser Z, the top of the line for zero-radius turn quality. See your local Exmark dealer for complete pricing and finance details and schedule a free demo today. Stop by Absolute Kubota at 1325 West Main in Lebanon or call 615-449-6171.
Got it. Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us here on a rainy Friday morning. Karen Moore is with us. Karen is a good friend of ours here, and sometimes when I get in a pinch, I call her and she says, "Tell me when you want me to be there." To be honest, that's the way it was today, but I thank you very much. I was talking, or had Mike Jennings on. He was telling us, because he is your attorney for 911, like he is for the county, that covers all of that. But he was telling me that you have about to, or maybe have started, some construction. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, that's actually one reason I'm here in blue jeans today, because we are packing up and getting ready to move. Our call takers will be relocating to the Wilson EMA building with them for hopefully just a 3-month period. But we've got several different items that we're going to take care of, and the remodel is going to actually help with the quality of the air for our call takers and us as administrative staff. And they're going to do a different type of AC system, and so hopefully we can get that accomplished. We're doing acoustic type ceilings. We're going to do a security fence around the building, and which has been needed for quite a while, and just several different enhancements. But the biggest thing, we're getting 4 new work consoles, and these are not only will they go up and down, but they can go in and out. And when you're staring at 6 to 8 monitors, you need to be able to adjust those to your however you feel more comfortable with sitting. Our call takers over this last year, I actually got some numbers. They answer the call way above the national emergency standard. They answer it 99.10% under 10 seconds, which 10 seconds sounds like a long time, and it is to our people, because I guarantee you they're answering it within 1 or 2 seconds. So we're second in the state, and very proud of the group. So we're spending some money trying to make their environment more ergonomic for them.
I guess all of this comes about through training and practice, but how do you feel you've accomplished this?
Well, it takes a special type of person to be call takers and dispatchers, and Wilson County is very fortunate that every agency has very dedicated and people who take additional training. I mean, our folks are always looking for the Tennessee Emergency Communications Board supplies a training portal, and we require them to take 16 hours, but they take, they're probably doing something at least once a month. And it's just the dedication that they have to their job. We don't have a lot of positions that they can move up to, but they know they make a difference in each and every call. And they know they take it to heart to listening to the callers as they call in, because they are a citizen of Wilson County.
Karen, every once in a while we hear horror stories about somebody calling in, and one in particular I remember, I think was played out quite a bit on the news in the last few weeks. It was their last day to work, I believe, and somebody called in and she was really rude to the person, didn't follow through. I think there might have even been a death involved later on. Fortunately, if you've got dedicated people, even if it's their last day, you don't have to worry about that.
No. When we hear those stories, we cringe.
Yeah.
And you just wonder what brought that person. It's just like people in nursing and being a doctor. Are they in it for the money? Or are they in it for the right reasons? And you hear these things. I mean, we've heard where other people like to make other dispatchers fail when they actually hear something that they realize the other dispatcher didn't hear. There's been a couple instances of that. Not in our group. They are a team. It's not an I. So anytime we even hand a call off to another agency, we try to stay on there to assist them, because the ultimate goal is for the protection of our citizens and our responders.
Are you hiring now?
Not right now. I think we may have a part-time job opening maybe within the next couple of weeks. We're always, part-time is those that are just as valuable as our full-time employees. So we pay them the same after so many months. They just don't get the benefits. But yeah, I mean, if anybody's interested, then come on down. Well, fact, we're all fixing to move. So that's another thing.
You'd have 3 months. It's a little bit different, unusual.
It is, and we're very fortunate that the Lebanon Fire Department has given us 2 offices to use over at their administrative office on Coast Ferry. So the administrative staff will be moving over there December the 4th.
Are you telling me really there's not going to be anything? Where are you going to be?
Well, I'll be over there at the fire department, at the Lebanon Fire Department.
So all of you really are moving out of there while this renovation's taking place. Okay. Yeah. And about 3 months. About
3 months is what they're saying. We've got some new phone equipment that's coming in, and we're going on what they call the hosted controller, which is they call it the nationwide EZNet eventually, and emergency service IP network. And so our old camera trunks that you dial in, you get the dial tone, those will be going away, and everything will be IP based. So what that is, it's just a more secure network. And so that's what we'll be hopefully getting installed. So as our call takers come from Wilson EMA, that we can get that up and running.
I think the way you are funded, the whole operation is funded, is through the
Cell
tax
phone.
that we pay. And I was just wondering, how are your finances? Are you doing okay?
Yeah, our board has over the years have really been on top as far as making sure we have enough money in our reserves. Of course, we're mandated to have a year, but we actually have more. We have enough, but it becomes an issue. We actually have so much money in the bank that when it comes out to do projects, we can't afford to budget the depreciation that we would pay. So what happens in this case, if you went and bought, let's say, a new refrigerator for your center, if it costs $500, then you can say that it cost $1,000 because you have to depreciate that item as well. And if you have a budget, then it's really a shame. There needs to be some changes in the depreciation law because it actually ties your money up because you can't. You've got to show a budget in the black, and it's hard to do that when you're. Let's say that we got $10,000 each year for our budget, but we had $100,000 in the bank. There's no way I can go out and spend $100,000 and use that $10,000 to pay my employees, and then to also cover the expense of something I just paid for $100,000 for.
Well, I guess maybe you can put that in the ears of the powers that be and get to work on that.
Yeah, we're working. The whole state funding model needs to change, and hopefully we can get that somewhere down the road. It's hard to get all the parties involved. The bigger centers like Davidson County, Shelbyville, and Hamilton County, they have the advantage because of the population. And even though our population has increased, we're still being run off of a 2012 funding model. And so hopefully one day that will change.
All right, I want to get to something we've talked about before, and I don't know exactly what has happened. We were going to, and I forget the terminology, but help me.
The co-location.
Yes, yes. Where are we in the process, or have we done as much as we're going to do there?
Unfortunately, after a lot of time, a lot of effort, and truth, a lot of money was spent on our part. The powers to be just fell apart, and really, it's the political environment. It was going to cost them a limited amount of money to come in because, face it, we pay right now for positions at each of our agencies, and they're $54,000 a piece, but they're eight, and they have two. Each agency has two, but there's $8,000 maintenance per position, so that's $16,000 we have to cover, and we've done that free for all these years. Not only that, we pay the connectivity and everything to it. And to do this remodel, it was going to be $1.5 million, which we were going to pay for, but we needed some help with that depreciation. And it was ended up being around $33,000 per agency. I think the county was going to sustain maybe about $45,000 for Wilson EMA and $45,000 for the sheriff's department. But at the end of the day, I think they just decided to take their funding and do their own thing, which is fine. I mean,
are we talking about City of Lebanon, City of Mount Juliet,
and our Wilson EMA and our sheriff's department? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the thing is, it's not broken. I mean, a lot of people say, well, you have to transfer the call, but even in a big consolidated center, you still have call takers, and you still have dispatchers, and they're either being sent by CAD or they're being sent by other means, or transferring the caller. What people don't understand is that if a lot of times the hot calls, the people will tell us what's going on and then they hang up, we're still relaying that information. We are still getting help to these folks. So, yes, you may have to answer questions twice, but in any center, you're going to be asked those same questions over and over because people will live at 1611 West Main Street. They'll tell you they live at 1161. So it's just the fact that people get nervous and they're in a situation that none of us want to be in. So you just have to really dot every I and cross every T on these calls. We've been fortunate. We've not had any lawsuits because of our failure to follow up on the call.
Well, that speaks volumes for the job that you and your team have done.
Yes, great bunch of people. Yeah.
We are out of time, except there's 45 seconds left. Is there anything you need to tell us? Thanksgiving is a holiday for most, but not for you.
Yeah, our folks will be working 24, and they'll take the time, and some of them have Thanksgiving the night before and some the next day, but I appreciate it. I'm very thankful for the folks that we have, and I if anybody ever needs and wants to come down and see our operation, we're going to have an open house once we get our new building.
Okay. Great. Well, thanks for spending time with us today. A lot of good information here and kind of letting us catch up with what's going on. Karen Moore, Director of 911. That's it for Part 1. We'll take a break here and Part 2 coming up. Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:29. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank Bates Ford and the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. 5 quarts oil plus tax and disposal. Tire rotation is safety check. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning, and continue to clean that wreck up in Rutherford County on the Interstate 24 westbound at Highway 231. It's Church Street, Harding Place, and Antioch Pike. That wreck's still at the intersection. It's heavy now on 65, making your way up to Spring Hill. All that traffic flow coming up through Williamson County on 65 northbound from Franklin into Brentwood. If you're needing holiday cash, Choice Cash has a way to borrow up to $10,000. Call Choice Cash today at 1-800-658-9816. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Caring for a loved one is as natural as the weather. But just like the weather, one moment it's sunny and the next you find yourself in the middle of a storm. So when it came time to take care of my dad, I knew I needed help. A reprieve from the storm, so to speak. That's when I found the Pavilion Senior Living. They have expertise and experience to weather the storms in your loved one's life. And now I can rest easy. Thank you, Pavilion Senior Living. You should visit thepavilionseniorliving.com to find out more.
Someday you may wake up and think, uh-oh, I'm running out of time to do something about retirement. Waypoint Financial Partners can help you do something now that may provide a solid future for you and your family. Waypoint, your future, your way. For more information, call the Lebanon office of Waypoint Financial Partners at 615-444-6548. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Axer Advisors, LLC, 212-314-4600. Member FINRA, SIPC.
Gregory Dental in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from University Medical Center. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway, across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
It will be a rainy end to the work week here in Middle Tennessee. We'll have showers around as we go through the day. Highs will top out in the upper 50s this afternoon. If you're going to be out and about this evening, those rain chances will stay in the forecast. It'll be fairly warm through the overnight with lows dipping into the mid-40s. We stay soggy through the first half of the weekend. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Nisa Lomax.
Coleman and Company, welcome to Part 2. It is a Friday morning. We're ready to talk about the C&B team of Exit Rocky Top Realty. And today, we got Miss Judy and we got Mike today. Mike, good morning to you.
Good morning, Tom.
Nice to have you with us. Miss Judy and Medina kind of taken over for the most part here lately, but glad to know you're still around.
I told you I'd come out occasionally, and I am.
Well, Judy, how are you today?
I'm doing great. A little wet, but doing good.
Well, the C&D team of Exit Rocky Top Realty been on West Main Street for, I guess, as long as you've been advertising with us here, and that's a long time.
Long time.
One of our first, I guess, and they stayed with us this slot on Friday. We appreciate that. Great people, great service. Somebody answers the phone 24/7, and they're people you can trust. So, get us started.
I'm going to talk about a couple listings, and I'm going to let Mike do some talking today since he's not normally with us. We've got a big farm. If you're looking for a large farm, it's 350 acres, and that's hard to find. Now, if you find a farm 100 acres, it's really good, but it's 350 acres, and it's in Granville, Tennessee, which, it takes about 45 minutes to get up there from here, and it's on Dry Fork Road. And it's beautiful farm property. It's rolling hills. There's some level spots. It's fenced. It has an old farmhouse. It kind of looks like the Waltons' home. It needs a little work on it, but it's not in bad condition. It's livable. And it also has 3 barns on it, and it has 3 ponds. It's just, you could run cattle on it, you could grow crops on it. It fronts out on 3 different roads. The farm goes that far around so that you could have road frontage on 3 different roads. It's just a beautiful, beautiful rolling, part of it's rolling and part of it's level. And it has been surveyed, so it has a new survey, and it's one of the most interesting surveys I've ever had. It's got what kind of tree is on that corner and what kind of fence. It's not just your footage, it's describing what you're looking at as you walk the fence line.
Okay.
And the guys named the trees and everything. It's a really neat survey, but it is $599.9, which is a wonderful price for 350 acres anymore, 45 minutes, and you're probably 15 minutes from the interstate from there. So it's not hard to get back to the interstate. And that one is $599.9. And then we've got 26 acres over here by the fairgrounds for sale. It adjoins the fairgrounds. And it's fenced, and it's pretty much level land, but it does adjoin the back of the fairgrounds. And that one is $349.9. So if anybody's interested in that, let us know. Might be a good investment property for somebody down the road.
What would you envision that being? Is just land?
It's just land.
26 acres.
Mm-hmm. So it could be a possible, addition to the fairgrounds at some point. So, or somebody could just grow crops on it for right now. So
possible subdivision?
Well, it could be possibly because it fronts out on Peyton. It fronts out on Peyton Road. So, but just it's $349.9.
Okay.
So just let me know, and I'm going to let Mike do some talking here.
All right. Well, let us tell everybody, of course, that you're available. Close that telephone, which is 443-3130, and Miss Judy will be glad to talk to you about either one of those or any others that she's got.
That's correct.
Okay, Mike.
Well, Coleman, I just want to come this morning and wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and have a good holiday season. And I'm sure I'll be back before Christmas, but just be safe. I was thinking coming over here, our town has grown so much. Used to, I could leave the house in 5 minutes. I was over here. That don't happen no more.
Well, we are growing, but now you real estate people, you definitely appreciate some growth.
Yes, we do. And I've been excited what's happened here over the years. I think we still got a real nice town and everything, and I enjoy being here. And people that come here, that is what I really like. After they're here a while, they really enjoy being here too. They feel a sense of home. Mm-hmm. And we had a guy tell us the other day that this is the first time he'd ever really felt at home. In the house he had bought, the subdivision he'd picked. And so that's the kind of things we like to do. But people, just be careful. There is a lot of traffic out there. Yeah. Traveling and all that.
Mike, you've had a great history here. You've been building for a long time. You've slowed down some now, but you still have maybe people you've built more than one for.
Oh, yes. I have numerous people that I've built 3, and I think one person I built 4 for. But I have a lot of people I've built 3 homes for. And
that says something about them. They come back to you.
Yes, and I built a lot of people's kids' houses after I built their house. So, so I have done a lot of that.
Well, no question, we do have a lot to be thankful for, and you've had a successful business. Y'all still are doing well, and Medena's come along to join you, and you still have Doris and the others.
That's right.
Yes,
That's
we
right.
have a great team at Exit, C&D team. If you haven't tried us, try us. I think you'll enjoy what you see. The girls don't just sell you a house. They're there forever for you. I mean, I see them every day going up, getting people's water changed over and all the different things changed over for them because they're out of town moving here. So everything's ready for them. So they go the extra mile. I have a good group of people that do that. I always have. And we just try to do the right thing.
Well, being able to help us, again, especially if you're not from here, if you're moving in here, you don't know the hoops you have to go through. Maybe you have a general idea, but, I mean, y'all do it all the time.
Yes, we do, and know what to expect. And, the same thing when I was in construction, people would want to do something to their house, and I would just have to tell them that, they're not going to let you do that. I mean, because I had tried it too many times, and I knew what the codes were and things. So, but we could usually come up with another alternative that they could do. So that's something we've offered over the years, is just knowledge of being in this business and learning a lot. And we each agent tries to help each other out. If something comes up, we try to figure out a way to take care of it.
And you are still, I think you still have some people that if you got a little problem that needs to be taken care of, you come to Miss Judy and Medena's rescue, or the others. And
we do. We stop what we're doing, and I have a crew that works a lot on my rental houses and things like that, and we pull off and go take care of whatever's happening there. We will make sure your house closes.
Yeah, and Miss Judy, that does mean a lot, doesn't it?
It does. It means a lot, especially when it's the day before closing and a water pipe burst or whatever, and he's there, or a water heater. So he always comes to our rescue.
Yeah. All right. Well, Mike, good to have you with us today, and y'all have a great Thanksgiving, and we won't see you next Friday because we'll be off Thursday and Friday, but in 2 weeks. How's that?
That'll be good. And the next time we're here, we'll talk about a little bit more. But starting tomorrow, our Santa Claus mailbox will be open in front of our office. So get your kids Santa letters and just drive up in the front of our parking lot and deposit them in the Santa mailbox, and we'll make sure they get to the North Pole just in time.
All right. Well, thank y'all. See you next time.
Okay.
All right. It is 19 and a half minutes before the hour, and let me say again, Exit Rocky Top Realty C&D team, don't make a move without them. I've invited Teresa Bush to come and be with us today, and she is here live in studio. Teresa, good morning to you.
Good morning, Coleman Walker.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm all right. It's Friday.
Yeah.
I just wanted to stay at home because of the rain.
Yeah, I cannot blame you for that.
Good day to sleep.
How is the TV going?
Well, Wilson County Television is doing very well, and I wanted to show you this. I wish we had video right now, but today at 5 o'clock, your interview segment with Barry Tatum is scheduled to be on at 5 o'clock, and that was just coincidence.
Oh.
Yeah. I was looking to see who was going to be on.
I didn't know you were still running that. You have them in your archives.
Rotation, of course I do. I'm going to have a Talking with Tatum marathon sometime soon, but there might be some folks out there who don't understand what Wilson County Television is. It is the county's public education and government channel. Folks with a little bit of age on them often call it public access, which started about 30 years ago. But over the years, the focus of the channels have changed. We focus on the government. We do the county commission meetings live, Lebanon City Council meetings live. We replay the county's budget education meetings. We also replay the Mount Juliet Commission meetings as well. But we're able to produce local stuff as well, thus the Talking with Tatum. And I have to say that you are responsible for me getting Barry Tatum to do that, because he would fill in for you. And I just thought he had a good voice. So he is the host of an interview segment called Talking with Tatum.
How often does he do a program?
Well, it just depends on what's going on with our regular duties as a government channel. Mm-hmm. So it just depends on what is going on. I don't have a set schedule. It's just whenever we can, whenever I have student workers that can help as well.
But I think, don't you play that twice a day?
Okay, absolutely. Every day of the week, Talking with Tatum airs at 9 and 5. So
9 a.m., 5 p.m.
Yes, and it'll vary. So everybody listening, we have featured WANT's Coleman Walker, and we featured WANT's Fred Burton, and we need to get Miss Susie because of her long history of here and a woman entrepreneur and all of that. But every day we just put them in rotation.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't start with her, but maybe she wasn't as available as Fred and I.
well, we
Fred and I are not working as hard as she is, not as busy.
Absolutely. I know that she is, but there are a lot of very interesting people who have interesting stories, and that's the focus of the Talking with Tatum.
Right. Well, Judge Tatum does a great job with that, and I must say that it is a little bit different being there live on TV. Well, you're taping, but
yes.
It's you. There's very little editing, I think, that takes
absolutely.
place.
Again, my age is showing. When I was in television news, you would call it do a live to tape.
No.
And of course, it's not to tape anymore. It's to a digital SD card. But the focus of that is pretend like it's live so there won't be much editing later.
Right.
And so that's what we do. There have been a couple of times that we've messed up really bad and said the wrong word or whatever, but we try to do it again live to tape as though it's live.
Well, you've got really you've got a lot going there, and I'm knowing what it's like when you have to go away and do something beyond the scene. You have to have somebody there at the county commission meeting, at the city council meeting, and at the board of commissioners meeting in Mount Juliet. I mean, you have a camera there live in there.
Actually, we don't.
You don't.
That's okay.
Oh, all right.
No, the technology is such that the Lebanon City Council just sends me their signal, and it's programmed to go out on our channel.
Oh, well, that makes your job easier.
Oh,
then.
absolutely. Now, I do have a full crew at the county commission meetings because we produce those.
Okay.
If Mount Juliet...
Okay. You're producing them. The city of Lebanon does its own production. Okay, got it.
Absolutely.
What about Mount Juliet?
Mount Juliet is replayed back. We could go live. There's money involved. They're not interested in doing it at this point, but they could go live. In fact, I have a piece of equipment that 8 people could go live. So Board of Education could be live. Watertown City Council could be live. Mount Juliet Commission could be live. There are lots of people that could be live. And over time, I think that will happen.
You're not doing Watertown yet?
No, not yet.
Well, I want you to let me... I've been told by Mike Jennings, theirs is pretty informal. I mean, they follow Robert's Rules of Order, I think, but they're a little bit more laid back than maybe some of the others. And
absolutely.
Whenever you get ready to have them on, I want to watch.
Well, absolutely. But we have the capabilities to do a lot of things live. Again, it's just really... the technology is just crazy. If you have a very good Ethernet connection, which that's your internet connection, that we can be live. We have the Sheriff's Department donated a van to us, Wilson County Television. It's getting painted. We're going to get a generator. We're going to be able to be live. And so as things go along and more things are added, I hope to be live at the fair next year. So just a lot of things. But
I think Charles Dickens wrote a book about you. It's called Great Expectations.
Woohoo! Well, again, spending many years in television, it is my passion. It's what I like doing. The restrictions are, and I want folks to always understand, we are not a commercial television station. It is, you can sponsor things, it's public affairs, and again, we already have the equipment. My first job is the government. What can we do? How can we get messages out there? Show the transparency with that. Mayor Hutto does a month in review, what's coming up on the commission. We're going to start producing videos to explain how government works because a lot of people look at the internet. Well, this county did this and this city did this. Why can't you take money from here and over there and all that? So we're trying to explain those.
Teresa, we need to take a break. Teresa Bush is with us, Wilson County TV. We're going to talk more after this on Coleman & Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:48. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota and Rental, large inventory of new and used Kubota mowers, RTVs, tractors, hay equipment, and more. Come in Saturday for free popcorn. Check out the new Kubota products. 1325 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Well, good morning. Still heavy traffic volume out here as expected on a Friday morning when it's raining on 40 westbound here at Spence Lane, trying to get into Hermitage, Donaldson. 40 eastbound now just past Fessler's on an accident. Noblesville Pike at 440 directly moved to the side. Heavy surge of traffic now up through Kingston Springs on 40 east. All that traffic coming out of Dixon County. If you're in the buy needing holiday cash, Choice Cash has a way to borrow up to $10,000. Call Choice Cash today at 1-800-658-9816. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Hey Medina, it's almost Thanksgiving, and we would like to thank all our customers who have put their faith and trust in us this year to take care of all their real estate needs.
We're thankful to live in a community where people do really care about each other.
Yes, let's stop and be thankful for what we have and not for what we want. Happy Thanksgiving!
Call Judy Cox or Medina Himmentoller at Exit Rocky Top Realty. C&D Team, 443-3130.
This Saturday, Lebanon's West Side will be rocking to the tune of sleigh bells.
Beauty Boutique and the Jewelers are having a party, and you're invited.
Shop BB for all the beauty and fashion trends of the season.
I know my wife loves to have BB style. The Jewelers has deals to make your special someone sparkle like a Rockefeller Plaza Christmas tree.
And my jeweler always rocks. Beauty Boutique is in the Signature Plaza and will be celebrating from 10 to 2.
The Jewelers is located at 1501 West Main, and we will be open from 9 to 4. One-day deals at both locations.
At Wilson Bank and Trust, financing a new home isn't just about buying bricks and mortar. It's more like helping a neighbor build and grow in life, and you won't find anyone better equipped for that job than a friendly expert who's right down the street. Whether you're looking at new construction or a home equity line of credit, Wilson Bank and Trust will work with you on a home loan that's closer to home. Visit Wilson Bank and Trust online or in person when you're ready to take your next step in life, and you'll be glad you did. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Coleman and Company here on a rainy Friday morning. We welcome you again, and of course, we welcome Teresa Bush, Wilson County TV. Now, we're going to get to some sports here in just a minute, but I wanted to mention this about you because, you started this and kind of started fairly small here, and you're growing all the time, but you've had some background in TV. Talk about that a little bit. Aren't you originally from Smith County?
I absolutely am. My family still lives where I was born and raised in the eastern end of the county in a little community called Chestnut Mound. My parents are still there.
Yes.
Lots of folks know about Chestnut Mound because they passed through there on their way to Granville, where all that great stuff Randall Clemens has done down there. So a lot of people know that, but went to Smith County High School and Cumberland for 2 years, and then got my degree in mass communications with an emphasis in broadcast journalism from MTSU.
Well, you've been in the Nashville market.
I have. I worked all over the Southeast real quickly, Jackson, Tennessee, Columbus, Mississippi, Knoxville, the Tri-Cities, and then came back home. Most folks, when they hear my voice, they go, I've heard you somewhere before, and I had the good fortune of working at Channel 4, and also I had worked at Tennessee Crossroads. So a lot of people know about me being there. I have about 60 or 70 stories there that you can Google on YouTube, and they still run a few of them in rotation on Tennessee Crossroads.
What did you do it for?
I was on every morning live in the field for about 2 or 3 years on and off as a freelancer.
Yeah,
okay. So at 5:30, 5:36, 6:30, you saw me out in the field. And I was just thinking about that today. I'd be soaking wet if I was out there today. So I was on in the morning.
Must have liked that.
Oh, absolutely. I'd give anything to be, don't tell the county commission this. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, yes, I loved it very much. But, there comes a time when, you're tired of running and gunning and getting soaking wet and all that, but the days are gone of sitting there and being an anchor and not going out of the building. So if the little ferry came down and said, what would you like to do? I'd love to be in the warm and everything and just anchor and have stuff brought to me, but that's not a reality anymore.
But you're in charge of all of this at Wilson County TV. It's your job to have everybody in place. You don't get to do, you're not on camera much, I don't think.
No, I use my voice. The channel is not for me to continue being on television if I absolutely had to. But I believe a part of what we are to do and what I have felt very passionate about is helping the students here. We have a Wilson Central High School that has a video department. Lebanon High School does. Some of the middle schools are starting to do that, and we are an avenue for them to get real hands-on experience. Now,
some of those over there when we taped my thing on talking
in
with
the studio,
Tatum,
yes,
they were students.
Absolutely, and most of them are studying broadcasting, and so we're giving them. They are getting paid a small amount of money, but they're getting hands-on experience, because when you go to college, you're not probably going to start editing or being on camera till you're a junior or senior. You got to get the basics out of the way.
And here you have been there and done that, so to speak. I mean, you've got to be it's got to be a great situation for them to come there with hands-on experience, learn that they're just that much ahead of the game.
They absolutely are, but I'm going to tell on myself. They teach me stuff too. You know, I was sitting there one day, I've got 4 computers in my office, and so I wanted to send a picture to one of the students who was editing on a computer. It was on my phone, and I said, I'm going to email this to you. You get it. He turned around and he said, Miss Teresa, do you know what airdrop is? And I go, no, what's that? And he's like, you push this button and you push this picture and it goes in. I go, okay. So we have fun, you know, because they teach me stuff, but it is hands-on. And before we run out of time, one of the things I wanted to speak about is we are working with Lebanon High School to replay several of their home basketball games. Lori Nicholas over there in the video department does a great job. We air their newscasts every day. We air Mount Juliet Bears newscasts. They do what we call in the business packages. A kid might be signing with somebody. They talk about interesting facts at the school. She is going to allow students to be the color and the play-by-play of the home basketball games.
Now, that'll be a trip.
Oh, it'll be great. 2 of those games, Joe Dubin from Channel 4 is going to come and join the students. So I was like, I want to replay those. So we will replay those games. Most of the sponsors have chosen to wait and sponsor the so-called district or conference games, which start in December. Those sponsors allow us to go outside the purview of our daily activities and provide the community with something else. Our channel is hyper-local, and we want to be able to do that. We did it with Lebanon High football, and now we're going to do it with a few of the basketball games.
Well, I think the big word to get out is where people can find you. Now, on Charter, you're channel 198, and there's one good thing about that. I think the city has used that before you came along.
Yes, sir. We took over their channel. The way you get the channels is a part of your franchise agreement with cable operators. It started again about 30 years ago across the country, and what it does, without going into the minutia and the weeds of it, basically the cable company comes into town and the consumer pays a franchise fee, but what the cable company gets is the ability to go onto right-of-ways and such as that without having to continuously deal with paperwork. So in exchange for that, entities, municipalities are able to get a channel. So Lebanon just had one before the county. The county could have had one many years ago. They chose not to for whatever reason, and that's fine. But taking theirs over, we believed, and the city of Lebanon believed, made sense. They were not dedicated to the production. With my production background, it made sense for us to take it over, and we already had a following there. So we're hoping to grab that a little bit more. We also have AT&T in Lebanon, so we're on their channel. We are working...
Which is... 99?
99, and that is a drop-down menu. So if you go to 99 on AT&T, you can watch all of the public education government channels around. We have our county commission meetings, budget meetings, and education meetings replayed on the city of Mount Juliet's 2 cable systems, which are TDS and Comcast, and we are working to try to get more of our programming there in some capacity. It's going to take a while, but we're trying.
Do you have something going continuously?
Yes, the channel is 24/7. Yes, I program it like, quote, a television channel. In the morning, you wake up, there are kids programming. There are exercise. We have yoga and Tai Chi. Then we have the local programming. Then we go into aging, because the majority of the people who are watching our channel are aging. We have medical shows, aging shows. Then we have cooking shows. I'm very, very happy to have Tennessee's Wild Side on our channel. I have a show called Tennessee Valley Uncharted. Look it up. The Tennessee Valley Authority produces that. It's very much like Tennessee Crossroads. We get TWRA's video podcast called Wildcast. Wilson County resident Jason Harmon is the host of that. So if you like that, it's really good. So we have on Saturday and Sunday a fishing show, a boating show, a woodworking show. They're fantastic. And I know you're thinking, well, where do they come from? They're from other public education government channels across the country. So we replay there. So there's something going on the channel 24/7. Lastly, I'm about out of breath, and Coleman's going, shut up, woman. But we stream 24/7 as well. So don't think that you have to, well, I don't have Charter. You can go to your computer, you can go to your mobile device, you can go to Twitch TV or our Facebook page, and we are streaming 24/7. Something is always on.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've said many times, technology passed me by a long time ago.
Coleman, I have to agree. I mean, back in the day with you, your first television job was cutting that tape and putting it together to edit. Yeah. And with me, I asked the students the other day, I said, do y'all know what a 3/4 inch tape is? No. So I showed them one, which again, for those who don't know, it's about as big as a small cigar box.
Yeah.
And then the machine to play it in is about as big as a big microwave. And I showed that to the students and they just laughed. We just do it right here on this computer and this keyboard. Isn't it crazy?
It is just amazing. And with me here, when Susie took over and we started using the computer, of course, this has been a long time ago. But I mean, even before that, when you had reel-to-reel tape, the only way to edit that was to cut it and cut out what you don't want, tape it back.
Absolutely. And I learned how to do that at MTSU. I don't mind telling my age. That was 1983 and 84. Yeah. But you go back even further to, I've met over the years guys and gals who were here in the 60s and 70s when you had to come back and develop your film before you get it on there. And we could talk for an hour about, again, the technology. And I relate it to us replaying the games. I had somebody say, well, who wants to see a replay of a basketball game? And I go, lots of people will, because there's spoiler alerts all the time. You're going to know who won the ball game. But what you're going to do on Saturdays and Wednesday night with Wilson County Television is be able to go to Grandma's house who wasn't able to go to the game, go to Grandpa's house who wasn't able to go to the game. They don't like looking. Their hands won't allow them to work a computer. Their hands won't allow them to work a device. And you can sit there cuddled up with Grandma and Grandpa and Mama and Daddy and watch your son or daughter play ball on a television. All right. That's what we're doing.
Okay, lot of ways to access it, but if you have Charter, it's $198. Yes. AT&T, $99, and I lost out after that, but
that's all right. Well, tune in. The next few days, we're going to have Coleman and Fred's episode airing. We also have a schedule on our page on the website. So just give me a call and watch.
All right. Teresa, thanks so much for being with us. Enjoyed your visit. Teresa Bush, that's going to do it for Friday. And until Monday, I wish you a fantastic day.